First Lady Spy of India, NEERA ARYA by Madhu Dhama. First chapter. Scorching heat of June. A stony path surface with pointed pebbles and shadowy trees. Not even a blade of green grass was visible on that long and lace trodden path. Only thorny bushes were companions of the path, which I used to tread every day on foot. This was the route from the railway station which led to my house. There was a government school on the way, and there was a dilapidated hut of an old woman by the outer wall of the school complex. We used to see each other daily, and I would exchange smiles with her. I saw her making garlands of flowers daily, and many women bought flowers from her for their braids. Often I also had the craving to buy flowers and adorn my braid, but my principles and upbringing didn't allow me to wear flowers in my bun or to adorn and flaunt my assets. But the fact was that whenever I stepped out of my house, I had a burqa on, covering my body from head to toe with a black cloth, which even had a nose piece in front of the eyes, and as soon as I entered the house, I slipped out of my burqa. In the house, I was busy with household chores and homework from the school. And then, where was the time to adorn, and who was there for whom I should adorn myself? But during those days, I liked someone whom I used to meet outside the house. Please don't take it otherwise. The person whom I love was none other than my fiancé, and our relationship had the blessings of my father. I was hardly 17 when I was betrothed to a stranger who belonged to a distant, far away land, and not much was known to my family about him. I have recorded all these things in my biography, Ghar Vapsi, Dar Dar Ki Thokre, and Book of Reminiscence. Mera Dusra Janm, but here I am writing about that old lady whom I used to meet daily. That day, when I passed by her hut, I found that the municipal committee had razed it and thrown her belongings, which were scattered on the road. She didn't have many belongings, and whatever she had lay litter on the road. That included a few earthen pots, one blanket, and one or two rag clothes. But yes, there were some more important things in her belongings, and those were her books, diaries, and documents. She made an appeal to the policeman showing them those documents. Who do you think I am? Had we ousted the British from the country so that you should take over their role? Taken aback by her claims, I wonder as to how an illiterate appearing old lady who made both ends meet by selling flowers could talk of the freedom struggle and then look at the books litter on the road. None of those were a storybook or a novel, but all were related to history of the freedom struggle, and to me those appeared to be rare books. I pick up a book which was Sun 42 Ka Mahan Viplav, The Great Uprising of 42, which contained shocking narrations and pictures. I had asked the lady, Amma, are you a freedom fighter? Beti, daughter, I am an ordinary citizen. Was anybody from your family a freedom fighter? Why are you asking me all this? She said. What does it matter who is who these days? Looking at your books, it appears that you are not an ordinary citizen. You are hiding your identity from people and selling flowers to earn your livelihood. Yes, Betty, I am hiding my dignity from people. Otherwise, how will this wretched world allow a single woman to survive? I am hiding my poverty from the world. That is why I blessed every married woman by selling flowers for her bread, so that my flowers continue to be sold. Amma, you have avoided my question. These books littered on the road are telling a different story. This proves one thing for certain, that you are a literate lady, and secondly, you are a patriot. Don't add insult to my injuries. She started weeping. Tell this policeman not to ruin my abode. A policeman interfered. Amma Garu, you have been warned repeatedly not to occupy the road. Move to some other place. We had also made arrangement for you at an old age home, but you have repeatedly refused to shift there, and all the time you have been up pleading that you don't want charity from the government and that you are capable of looking after yourself. I am still able to look after myself. Then why was my heart destroyed? Because it is illegal. Look, son, it was a vast jungle when I made my hut here. I made I had made my home outside the city, but now in its development process, the city has surged ahead of me. It is not my fault. Amma, which period are you talking of? I came here in 1947 when this land belonged to the Nizam government. Gone are the days of the Nizam's rule. Now it is our own rule, and as such this is our land. Then why am I not being allowed to live here? Well then, how long could I have stayed there? I left for my home. The old lady had looked at me with eyes filled with hope. Next day, when I passed that site, I found her laying at the roadside. It had rained heavily at night, and she had been lying drenched in the rains. Her luggage was littered on the road, but her books were not there, which might have been taken by a junk dealer. Silently, I approached her and placed my hand on her forehead, and I was shocked. It was very warm. She had high fever. I called her Amma, 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 but there was no response from her, as she was unconscious. For a moment, I thought, what is she to me? She doesn't belong to my caste or community. She doesn't believe in my faith and belief. She is a Hindu. She is an infidel. Why should I have sympathy for her? How am I concerned with her? If she dies or lives, I am not bothered. The sooner these infidels leave the world, the better it will be, so that the world is ruled by Allah. Let the Sharia by impose, and all the people are turned into flowers of Islam. Suddenly, there was another voice from my inner heart. What is a Hindu or Muslim? All of them are humans. There is no religion of an allying all lady. There is no God. His or her religion is the treatment, and his or her God is the doctor, and one who helps the destitute and helpless is a prophet. The moment such thoughts struck my mind, I took out a mobile phone from my pocket. Those days, Reliance had brought out cheaper mobiles in the market. This phone was gifted to me by my fiancé. He was madly in love with me, but I used to ignore his overtures and had told him, all these things are after marriage. Just keep yourself limited to blinking. In fact, I was unaware of the proceedings after marriage. I called him. Amma is unconscious. Amma, who? He asked, as I used to call my mother Ammi, and I didn't know his mother. Oh, that flower seller Amma, from whom you used to buy flowers for me? Then how am I concerned? I am not a doctor. That is what I am telling you. She is to be taken to a doctor. To a doctor? He replied. What is she to me? Why should I take her to a doctor? She will die without treatment. Let her die. Am I responsible for providing treatment to orphans? How can people love their own ones if they have no sympathy for destitute, orphans, and ill people? I was enraged. I hate you, mister, you ungrateful lover. I had disconnected the phone. I waited on the road for a rickshaw, but there was not a single rickshaw in sight that day, as if all of them were on strike. The rickshaw stand was also far away. I was worried if Amma was not taken to a hospital immediately. She would die, and in that condition, I would be responsible for that scene. I put my bag on my shoulder and tried to lift Amma with both hands. I thought that I would take her to the hospital lifting her in my lap. How much weight would this old lady have? But I was not that strong. I was just a frail girl. Even then, I was able to lift her, but there was strain in my back, and suddenly I felt a shooting pain. At that moment, I saw a rickshaw approaching me, and a person was sitting in that rickshaw. I thought of requesting the passenger to let me use the rickshaw for taking the ailing lady to the hospital. But as the rickshaw approached, I recognized the person who was none other than my fiancé. He was ashamed of his behavior and had come to my help. Alighting from the rickshaw without altering the world, he took the lady in his lap and sat in the rickshaw and asked the rickshaw puller to take him to the nearest hospital. Then he turned to me and said, "Darling, you follow us on foot." He was behaving as if he was settling a score with me, but the robust butcher like rickshaw pullers took pity on me and said, "Come, madam, you also come along with us. I will take three passengers and would earn a little more." Then turning back, he asked my fiancé, "Sir, why are you taking bread out of my mouth? Let the madam also come with us." I blinked at my lover and immediately alighted the rickshaw and nudged him. But he was unable to respond as he was carrying the old lady in his lap. He could only grit his teeth. "You shameless creature." Finally, we got Amma admitted to a hospital and he stayed there with Amma, and I left for my home. He stayed there the whole night. Next day I reached the hospital early in the morning and asked him, "How is Amma?" Has gained unconsciousness and just gone to sleep." As he was telling me about her condition, Amma woke up and said, "So you have come, Betty?" How could I sleep? Now I have to go to eternal sleep. Turning towards my fiancé, she said, "I have to go to the toilet." Then again she said, "Please make haste or I will spoil my clothes." I tried to lift her, but the old lady said, "Son, I am too weak to walk, and this girl is too frail to lift me. Please help me and take me to the toilet." "But how can I take you to the ladies' toilet? You had called me mother. Then why do you feel ashamed in taking your mother to the toilet?" "It's not that, mother. There is nothing to be ashamed of." Both of us took her to the toilet. After we entered, my fiancée immediately went outside and gathered her clothes. I made her sit on the toilet seat. She neither urinated nor excreted. She just got up and said, "Take me out." I called him, and both of us took her back to the bed. After laying down, she looked at me tenderly and said, "How will I be able to repay your debt?" "Debt? You are embarrassing me." Then I said, "Will you oblige me, Amma?" "Tell me, Betty." Then she said, "Do you want to leave me alone here? If it is so, then go." "No, Amma, it is not so. We will leave only when you are fully treated." I said, "I just want to know about your past." I had seen a number of revolutionary books among your belongings, which led me to believe that you are not an ordinary human being. Betty, you want to know my past. It is the past which never leaves a person and follows them to their grave. Moments after Amma had traveled back to her past and her face had turned childlike.